Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the brand new video of building a full stack application using Spring Boot and React. So by the end of this video, you will be able to make this application. So if I just type some name here, student name, and some address here, and if I just click on submit and refresh my application, so you can see here these data are instantly coming into our application. So these data are coming from my database. If I just go to the Mysql database here and just go to this Spring Core demo and student table, so you can see here these data are stored in this table. And if I just go to my IntelliJ here, you can see this backend application is running on port 8080. And if I just go to the VS Code here, you can see this React application is running on port 3000. So talking about the prerequisite to follow this course, you need to have installed Node.js and Java 11 into your system. So if you don't know how to install that, or if you haven't installed, so I've already got 2 videos on that. And you have to install Mysql Database as well. And talking about the IDE, we will be using the IntelliJ here. So if you are comfortable with using Spring Tool Suite or Eclipse or any other IDE, you can go with that as well. And for React application, we will be using the VS Code as our IDE. So if you're comfortable with WebStorm or other IDE, you can go with that as well. And for testing API, we will be using the Postman. And for design, we will be using the Material UI. So before that, if you are new here, be sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you will get the newer updates. So without further ado, with full excitement, let's get started. So here we will be creating all the packages, classes and interfaces required for building the Spring Boot application. So for that, quickly go to your browser and just search for Spring Boot Initializer and just go to this first link from start.spring.io, and let me keep this default Maven project, Java language, and let me keep this snapshot default, and you can give some group name like ArjunCodes or your name, and the artifact ID maybe student system, and you can give some description here, full stack application using Spring Boot and React. And I have got the 11 version of Java, so if you have 8 or 16, so you can choose accordingly. So I will be keeping this default here as well, and we need to add some dependencies here. So for that, just type Spring Web, and we will be using the MySQL, so just add the MySQL driver as well, and JPA for databases and all the stuffs. So this will be enough, I guess. So if we require other dependencies, we will be adding in between the videos, and just click on this generate. So this will basically generate the jar file. So just save in your preferred location. I will be saving in my desktop and click on save. And let me close this one and let me extract it here. So just right click and let me extract all and click on extract. So this will extract the Spring Boot application. And now let me open my IntelliJ. So if you have got other IDE, STS or Eclipse, so you can use that as well. So for this video, I will be using the IntelliJ. So if you don't know how to install IntelliJ and run this, I've already got one video, so you can check it out there and just click on open. Okay, let me go to my desktop here and let me just choose this student system and click OK. So this will load our application. And just click on this import. So this will import the Maven. So this might take some time if you are doing it for the first time. So if you have got multiple Java versions, so you can see here it's showing the JDK 16. So I want to change this Java version into 11. So for that, just click on this file and just click on this project structure. And instead of the 16, I want to choose the 11. So if you want to switch between the multiple Java version, I have already got one video. You can check out on the description and click on apply. So this will change the JDK version as well. And let me click OK. So now I want to create all the packages. So just click on this student system and source and main and in Java, and inside this package student system, we want to create some packages. And the first package is model. So this model package is basically used to create all the entities and getters, setters, and also the constructor as well. So just type student and click enter. So this will create the student class here, and it's saying safe mode, limited functionality. Okay, let me click on trust project and click on trust project. And also I want to create one more package, and it's repository. So just write repository, and this package is basically for JP implementation. So just right click and click on new Java class, and let me create one interface, and let me call it student repository, and click enter. So this will basically create the interface student repository. And also we will be creating the other package, and it's controller. Let me just type controller. So this controller is basically for mapping all the HTTP methods. We will be implementing get, post, and whatever the CRUD operation we require. So just type student controller and click enter. So this will create the student controller class. Also we want to create one new package, and let me call it service. And inside the service we want to create one interface, and let me call it student service. And also we will be creating one class as well, and which will be the student service implementation. So these are the packages and class we will be using for creating the backend application. So now once we create all the packages, so we will start writing the code for model package. Before that, I would like to mention that I will put all my codes inside this YouTube ArjunCodes GitHub account. So you can just go to this account, and I will also put the link into the description. Just go to this repository, and inside here you can see this full stack app. Just go inside here and click on source, click on main, and click on this Java, and you can see all the packages here. So you can go through every packages to see the codes, and if you get some error you can correct from there as well. So now let's start writing for this model class. So here we need to annotate this class with entity annotation, and we will write some attributes here. So private string. So before that, if you want to increase the font size of this, you can just go to this file and click on setting. Inside editor you can see the font here, and you just need to increase this size. Okay, I will put something like 16, and if I click on apply and click OK, so this will increase our font size as well. So now let's start writing the code, and let me call it private int id and private string name and private string address. So we need to annotate this id with id annotation. So this will basically make it the primary key, and also the generated value and strategy generation type identity. So this will make the id auto incremented as well. So now we need to create the constructor. So for IntelliJ you can just use alt and insert. So this will basically give you the shortcut for creating all these constructor getter setter. So just click alt and insert and just select this constructor, and let me select none. And also for getting the getter and setter, again click alt insert, or also you can just right click, and here you can see the generate as well. So just click on this generate and just click on getter and setter and select all the fields and click OK. So this will generate all the getter setters required for this model class. So now we also want to create the JPA repository here. So once we write the code for this model class, we will be writing for this repository here, and we just need to extend this with, so let me write extends and just write JPA repository, and we just need to give the name of the model class and its student, and the type of the primary key, so it's integer. So we have given the primary key as id and the data type is integer, so we need to write the integer here. And also we need to annotate this with the repository annotation. So after writing the model and repository, so we will be connecting our Spring Boot application with Mysql Database. So for that we have to create one database. So just open your XAMPP control panel and just start this Apache and MySQL. So let me go to the admin panel. So here I will be creating a new database, and let me call it full stack, and just click on this create. So this will create the full stack database. Now what we need to do is we need to configure the Spring Boot application for connecting our MySQL database. So just go to this resources folder here, and inside there you can find the application.properties. So here in this application.properties file, we need to give the configuration. So just type configuration, and we need to write spring.jpa.hibernate.ddl auto equals to update, and just type spring dot data source dot url equals to jdbc, and column mysql localhost, and the port is 3306, and the database name is full stack, which we have just created. So it's not local, it's a localhost. And now we just need to give the username. So spring.data source.username. So I have got the default username, and also the spring.data source.password. So I have also got the default password, and it's empty, so we don't need to provide anything here. And now we need to just write the spring.data source.driver. So we need to give the driver class name, driver hyphen class, and name equals to com.mysql.cj.jdbc and driver. So now if I just go to this student system application, and if I right click here and click on this run, so this will basically run our application. So you can see here Tomcat started at port 8080 and the application has been started. And now if I just go to the MySQL here and click on this full stack, and inside here you can see this student table. So we haven't created this student table, so the Spring Boot application has automatically created this table. And if I just go inside this table, you can see ID, address, and name. So these attributes are automatically created as the table columns by the Hibernate. So now once we connect the Spring Boot application with the database, so we will be writing a service and controller for saving the data into the database. So for that, just go to this service, and inside here the service student service is here, and we just need to write the methods here. So for that, just type public and student, and just type the save student, and it's a method, and just write student and student. So we will be implementing this save student in the student service implementation. So here we just need to write the implements and student service, and down here if you just type Control O, so this will show all the override methods, and just choose this save student. And also we need to auto wire the repository here. So just for that, just type the auto wire annotation AUTOWIRD auto wired, and just type the private and student repository, and just type the student repository, so which will basically inject the student repository into our service class. So now what I need to do is I need to write the method to save here. So just type student repository and dot save and students. So now once we write the service, we need to just go to the student controller here inside the controller package, and we just need to annotate this with res controller, so that it will just get the response body and controller at the same time. And also we will be giving the request mapping, and this is just for path, so we need to give the student path every time. So now we will be injecting the student service here. So for that, just type the auto wired and just type the private student service and its interface, and just type the student service here. So now we are writing the code to save the data into the database. So for that, we use the HTTP method PostMapping, and we need to give some path here. So I will be just giving something like add, and just type the public and string. So we will be returning some message. So for that I have just given the string here, request body here, and just give the student and student. And inside here we need to write the student service and save method here, save student and student, and also return some message like new student is added. Now what we need to do is we just need to remove this unused import. So for that just type Ctrl Alt O, so this will remove that, and here is no any unused import. So now if I just rerun my application from here, so just click on this, run this application, stop and rerun. So this will run our application if everything goes right. So here you can see it's showing the error like field student service required a bin type of student service that could not be found. So I guess inside here in implementation we forgot one annotation, and it's @service. So we need to say that it's a service class. So for that we have just annotated with service. Now if I rerun my application, so this should work fine. So now you can see here the Tomcat has been started at port 8080 and the student system application has been started. So to save the data, we will use the Postman. So if you don't know how to install the Postman, so I've got already one video for that. So just check it out there in the description. And once you install Postman, just open this Postman. And let me close everything from here. And here you just need to click on this plus sign here, and the method is post since we are saving the data, and just type the local host and 8080 slash. So we can see here, so we have given the path student slash add. So we just need to give the same path here, so student slash add, and we need to go inside this body, and we need to choose the raw here and the JSON type, and we just need to send the data inside the curly braces, and just give the name, and the provide name something like Arjun Gautam, or you can give any name, and just give some address, and address is Nepal. And if I just click on this send here, so you can see here the new student has been added. So new student added is the message we have given. Now if I just go to my database, and if I just refresh now here, so you can see the data 1 Nepal and Arjun Gautam. So if I now just add another one as well, okay, let me give something like John, and let me give some address here, USA, and if I just click on send, so you can see new student had been added. And if I just refresh this database again, so you can see the ID has been auto incremented here, and the data has also been added. So this is how you save your data into the database. So now once we save the data into the database, so we will be writing the code for getting the data from database. So for that, just go to this student service and just write public, and we will be just getting the list of student, and just type the method get all students, and just go to this student service implementation, and just type alt insert, and just go to this override methods, and we just need to select this one get all students and click OK. And we just need to change this into the return student repository dot find all. So this will get all the students from our database. So now we just need to go to the student controller, and here in controller we just need to annotate this with GetMapping, and just give one path. Let me call it get all, and just give the public, and we will be returning the list of students, and just type get all students, and just return the student service dot get all students. And if I just run my application again, So now you can see here the application has been started at port 8080 and it's started successfully. So we just need to go to the Postman again and just create the new tab and just type local host 8080 slash student slash get all. So if I just click on send, so this will display all the data from database. You can see here these are the data we have just posted before. So if I just go here in the post method and if I again post some new data here, let me call it new user and let me give some address like India, and if I just click on send, so the data has been added. Now if I just go here and click send again, so we will be able to see the new user as well. So this is how we use the get mapping annotation to get the all data from the database. So we have completed writing the backend application for creating and getting the data. So if you want to extend it further for all the CRUD operations, I have already got one video on my channel. You can check out on my channel. And once we write the backend application, we will start writing for the front end. So for that, we will be using the React. So to write the React application, you need to have Node.js installed into your system. So to check if Node is installed into your system or not, just open your command prompt and just type node -- version, and if it shows the version like this, Node is installed into your system, and also type npm -- version, and if it shows some version, so npm is also installed. So if you haven't installed Node.js into your system, I have already got one video to install the Node.js into your Windows or Linux system. You can check out on my channel. I will be putting the link into the description. So once you install the Node.js into your system, so we will start writing the React.js application, and we will be creating the React application inside this folder. So for that, just let me just right click here and properties, and let me just copy this path, and let me just close this one, and let me just go to the VS Code here and just open the terminal, new terminal, and just type cd and paste that path and just click enter. So this will navigate us to this student system folder, and just write npx create react app and just give the application name. Let me just call it student front end, and if I just click enter, so this will basically create the React application. So now you can see here the React application has been successfully created. So if you are doing it for the first time, this might take some time to install all the dependencies. So once we create the React application, so let me just click on this open folder and just go to the desktop here and click on student system. So we have got this student front end application. Click on select folder. So this will open our React application. So you can see here source, and this is the basic structure of this React application. And let me just click on this terminal again, new terminal, and if I just type npm start, so this will start our React application. So you can see here this React application has been started here. So we just want to edit some content here. So just go to this source folder and app.js. So just let me clear this header content from here. Let me just click backspace and let me write something like this is ArjunCodes, and let me also remove this logo as well from here. And if I just save this by Ctrl S, and if I just go to my browser again, so you can see here the content has been already replaced. So this is how you create the React application. So since we have created the React application, so now we will be start adding the components. So for that, just go to this source folder and just right click and click on new folder, and let me call it components. And inside component, we will be writing one app.js. So just right click and new file and just call it appbar.js. So before moving forward, if you get any problem or get error while writing the code, I have already published the source code in my GitHub account. So just go to the github.com/YouTube ArjunCodes and just go inside this repository, and here you can find this full stack frontend app. So just go inside here and go inside the source, and inside here you can just see the components and Appbar and student.js. So you can go through every line of code. So if you get any problem or error, as I have already mentioned in the intro video, so we will be using Material UI for the design. So let me search material UI and just click on this first link from materialui.com and to get started. So here are the installation instructions. So just copy this one and let me just go here and just click on this plus so that it will open the terminal, and let me paste and just click enter. So this will install the Material UI core. So once this Material UI is installed, so we will be installing for Material icon as well. So let me just search for Material UI icons and click enter and just copy this from materialui.com, and here you will see the Material UI icons and you can see the installation instruction from npm.js. So let me just copy this one, or you can directly type this one as well, and let me paste it here. And if I just click enter, so this will install the materials icon as well. So once the Material UI and material icons are installed, so let me go to the Material UI page here. So again, let me just type Material UI and let me go to this first link from materialui.com and let me search for the Appbar. So we will be adding the Appbar here. So let's just click on this Appbar and you can add as you wish. So in this video, I will just copy this one. So let me copy the source from here. And if I just go here and copy inside here, so everything looks fine. So let me save this one, and I just have to import into the app.js. So for that, let me rename this one. So let me call it Appbar and just save this one, and here we just need to import this one instead of this ArjunCodes. So let me call it Appbar. So now we have to import this as well. So just type import Appbar from and /components/Appbar. And if I just save this application, so you can see the export default function Appbar. So we need to replace this by using, I guess it's Appbar here. So Appbar, and if I just save this one, so this should work fine. So let's wait for it to run. And if I just go here and go to the React app, you can see the Appbar has already been added here. So you can just replace this text here. So let me replace it by something like Spring Boot React Full Stack Application, or you can give any name or whatever you want. So now it should replace this by this one, or you can remove this login as well, and you can just remove this button, or you can keep as well. It's your choice. So now the Appbar has been added. So once we build this Appbar, so we need to write the code for a student. So let me add one more component here and let me call it student. So in this JS file, so we will be writing the code for adding the form. So it's basically a controlled form. So it's showing some error here. So button is defined but never used. So let me just remove this button from here so that it removes the unused import. And if I just save this application, so it works fine, and you can see it is working fine here. And for adding the form, so we just need to go here and just search for Material UI text field and just click on this first link from text field React component, and we just need to copy this code from here and let me paste it here, and let me just change this name into student, and let me just remove this first two field and let me duplicate this text field here. And if I just save, and let me just type something like student name, so it's for name basically, and it's for student address, and let me remove this width as well so that it will be a full width. And if I just go here in the app.js and just type student, and let me import this as well, just type import student from /components and student. And if I just save this application, so okay, we need to write a student here, and if I just save this application and just go here. So you can see it's already coming student name and student address here. So now we need to style this component. So just go here and just type the container. So it's from material UI, and let me just cut it and paste it outside the form. So you can see it has already been imported automatically here. So if it's not coming directly to your VS Code, you just write this line, and if I just go here, so it's already added the component. So we just need to wrap this with the paper. So just type paper and just type the elevation and give the size 3 for elevation, and just for styles we will just type style and give some name like paper style. And let me close this one, and let me just cut this one and paste it inside the container. And if I just save this application, it shows something like paper is not defined. So we just need to define here. So just give comma and just type paper, and this error will go, and we need to give the style for paper. So for that, just come here and just type const paper style and equals to, let's give some padding, and for padding we will be giving 50 pixel and 20 pixel, and we will be giving the width 600, and for margin we will be giving 20 pixel and auto. So this will again make this into the center of the page. So let me save this one, and here it's showing some error like, okay, we just need to give the colon here, not equals to. Now if I just go to my application here, you can see it has already added this style here. And now what we want to do is we want to give some style here. So for that, just type full width so that it will be of full size, and also give here the full width. And if I just save, and if I just go to my application, so you can see it has given the full width here. And at the top we want to give heading. So here you just give heading 1, and let me call it add student. And if I just save this one, so this will show the add student here. And also I want to give some styling here. So just type style equals to and double curly braces, and just give color and give blue. And also I want to make this underline, so just type Y, and let me just copy this one or cut this one and paste it here. And if I just save my application, so it's showing some error here. So okay, I've just forgot to put one more curly braces here. And if I just save my application and just go to my application here, you can see it has added some style as well. So now I want to make this form controlled form. So for that we need to add some of the use states here. So for that, let me go here and just type const and name and set name equals to use state, and just close this empty bracket and just type const address and just type set address and just type use state and close this bracket as well. So you can see at the top here, so it has already auto imported the use state here. So if it's not showing in here, just type this use state, and also we need to write use state STATE here. So if I just save this, and now we need to add it here as well to make it controlled. So for that, just type value equals to, we just need to give the name. So it's name coming from this use state from here, and we just need to give on change when we write. So it's basically indicating that when we write something, so it should indicate the event, and set the name. So we have already given set name, and just type e.target.value. So basically the value which we are typing will be saved here. So now also close this with curly braces here, and for this address we will do the same here. Just type value and we have already declared the address. And on change or on when typing, just give the event and set the address with e.target.value. And let me close this, and let me close the curly braces here. And if I just save this application, so it's showing no warning here. And if I just type something, and if I just type something, so it's not showing here. But if I just type here something like name like Arjun, and if I just save this application, so it's showing the Arjun here. So basically when we type here, it will be stored inside the useState. So now to see if it's storing or not, just type here name and also the address. So if it shows the name and address when we type, so it's working. So let me type ARJUN and Kathmandu, so you can see it's already showing here. So once we create this control from, so I want to add one button here, so that once we click this button, we want to send the data into the database. So for that, let me just go to the material UI buttons and just click enter. So just go to the button, React button components here. So let me choose this secondary one. So just you can choose this secondary, or you can choose other as well, and let me paste it before this form. And if I just replace this word by submit and save this application, give the comma after the paper and just write button. And if I just save my application again, and if I just go here in my React application, so you can see the submit button. So now I want to add a program. So once I click this submit button, I had to get the data which I have just typed here. So for that, I just want to add one on click event here, on click, and just give one method here, handle click, and we need to write the handle click function here. Just define const handle click and equals to, give the event, and we want to prevent the default value. Just type default and just give the const student, and we want to print the name and address in the console. So for that, just type console.log student and just close the bracket here, curly braces here. And if I just save my application, so it's running fine, and just type Ctrl+Shift+I, so this will open the console here. Just click on this console, and if I just type something like ArjunCodes and address like Nepal, and if I just click on submit, so you can see here the data is coming as address Nepal and name ArjunCodes. So this is working fine. So what I want to do is, now I want to save this data into the database. So for that, let me run my Spring Boot application. So for running my Spring Boot application, I also need to run my gem control panel for database. And let me start my Apache and MySQL server, and let me again run my Spring Boot application. So our application has been started. So if I just go to the Postman here, so you can see we are using this route to save the data. So we will be using the same route to save the data from React application. So now to do the API call from React, we will be using the fetch, which is basically a Ajax library. So for that, just type fetch and just paste that link, which is localhost 8080 students. So you can also give here HTTP as well, and column and / localhost 8080 and add, and just type comma, and method is basically where posting. So just type post in capital letter, and the headers, and we need to give the content type inside header. So the content type is application.json. So we will be sending the JSON data type. So just type application/JSON, and let me just close this. And body will be json.stringify and student. So basically this stringify method converts the JS object to JSON string, and not semicolon here, just give the curly braces and just close this and just type then, and we will be printing some message here. Just give console.log, and we can say something like new student added. So once the student is added or sent into the database, so this will show the message in console that student is added, and one bracket and also the curly braces. Now this should look fine, I guess, and we have to close this as well. So it's saying that student is not defined. Okay, it's not stud, we have to correct this one, student, and now our application should run fine. And if I just go to my application and just type the same thing, and if I just click on submit here, so you can see the access feeds from origin has been blocked by CORS. So to fix this error, we just need to go to our application, backend application, and inside this student controller, inside the controller, and just go to the student controller, and at the top here we just need to give the annotation cross origin. And if I again rerun my application, stop and rerun, so this will fix the error. So what does this do means it basically tells the React application or Spring Boot application to connect two applications. So now if I just go to my browser here and submit again, so you can see here new student added. So also let me give another name as well, new name, and let me give something like new address, and let me again submit. So it's again showing that new student added. So to verify, let me go to my Mysql database here, and let me go to the database full stack, and inside the student, so you can see here new address and new name has been already added here. So it's ArjunCodes and Nepal, so which we have just added. So this is how you save the data from a React form to your backend application. So once we post the data from this control form to the database, so we want to fetch that data in our React application from this database. So we have got this database here, so we want to display these all students data into our React application. So for that we need to use one React hook, and that's useEffect, and we will be using the fetch and useState as well. So now let me just go to the students here, and here on top I will be just adding one const and students. So we will be adding the students and set student, and we will be using the hook state useState and array. So we will be basically giving the empty array, and we will be setting the students with the result. So now what we need to do is we need to add one useEffect. So it's a React hook, and also we need to import it here as well. So it's already imported automatically here, and if you are not able to see this, just write this useEffect for the useState and just type arrow function here, and we need to just write the fetch, and we have got the endpoint http localhost and 8080/student/get all. So get all, so this will give all the student list, and just type then, and response in JSON, rest.json, and let me close this one, and just then we need to just write the result and arrow function here, and we need to set the result, set the students with the result. So we are basically setting the students with the whichever result we have got. It's result here, And what we need to do is just write one curly braces, and we need to close with the, and if I just save this application, and it's showing some error here. I guess it's the error because of this bracket here. I guess I have to give one more here. And if I just save my application, so it's saying that useState. Okay, we have given some wrong name here. Yeah, so it's useState. And if I just save my application, so now we will be writing the program for displaying the data. So for that, we will be just removing this name and address from here. We will add one more paper here, paper, and let me give the elevation to 3. And style, we will be giving the same style as we have already given for paper style. And let me just write something like students here, that's 1, and let me call it students. And what I want to do is I just want to give the map here so that it will display the each student list, and for each student we will be giving the style. So for that, just type the paper and just give elevation. So for each student we will be adding inside the paper, and let me give some style, and let me give the margin here, margin, and it's 10 pixel, and we will be giving the padding, and it's 15 pixel, and also the text align, and we will be aligning the text in the left. And let me close the curly braces here. And inside here we just need to write, so let me first close the paper here. We need to close this one as well. And also I need to give the key here. So key will be student.id, and inside here I need to write id, and id is basically student.id, and also name, and the name is student.name, and also the address, and address is student.address. We need to close this one, and here we need to close the curly braces as well. I need to close one bracket here, and if I just save my application, so this is working fine, and you can see it's showing the data already here. So these are the data coming from my database, and let me just give some line break here. And if I again save this application, and you can see we have got the exact application which we have showed in my intro video. So now if I just add something else here, RAM and address India, and if I just submit and refresh my application, so you can see it has already been added. And if I just go to my database and refresh here, so you can see RAM and India, so it's working fine. So this is how you create the simple full stack application with Spring Boot and React. Hopefully you have learned something from this course. And one more thing to notify you all that I am planning to publish the full stack application for all CRUD operations soon. So until then, keep watching my YouTube channel. Also don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and press on the bell icon to get the latest notification.